Welcome to the backyard. We're back. No family table, no taco review today. Just some down-home barbecue. And I'm gonna teach you a little way to cheat. Now, there's an entire revolution happening in backyards all across America. It's the pellet grill. There's mine. It's a Yoder YS640S. Piece of American craftsmanship that will never leave my backyard. And I am a barbecue purist. No, you're not, Nick. You don't have a stick burner. Shut your mouth. I used to have a green egg. I had a stick burner. I'm a businessman. I'm busy. I need something that's easy. Something that I could just fire up, press a button. Just because I'm not a purist when it comes to the pellet grill does not mean that we cannot make delicious barbecue. But, Nick, burnt ends are so hard because you have to take a whole brisket, and when it gets to a certain temp, you got to cut off the point. Then you got to slice it into chunks. Then you got to smoke the chunks separately. Then you got to cut them. Then you got to sauce them. Then they're burnt ends and blah, blah, blah. No, you don't. Buy a chuck roast. This one was on sale. $13.75. Standard chuck roast. All you got to do is cut this into 1-inch cubes, put it in a bowl, cover it with your favorite seasoning, which I'll talk about next, throw them on the smoker, burnt ends in 4 hours. Let me show you how. So the first thing I do is trim this bad boy up real nice. Now, the reason why you buy a chuck roast is because it has great fat. Now, some of it is good fat and some of it's bad fat. Like when I see, all you have to do is pull this apart a little bit and you'll see where it's telling you to cut. So this chuck roast is telling me to cut right there. See this stuff right here? All of that stuff in the middle, got to get rid of all of that stuff. It's not gonna render down the way that we want it to in the Yoder. So it might look like a mess. You might have to try it a couple different times, but trust me, once you start pulling on this, see how when I'm pulling it, it's kind of telling me I separate there. I separate there. That stuff right there, maybe there's a couple pieces in there like that one right there. I could probably cut a burn end out of that one, trim that fat. Go back and see, like this part right here, probably not. No, probably no. That one's probably too thin, but we'll keep it. That stuff right there, that's not gonna render down. So you just wanna take your chuck roast, break it down into chunks that are about like that. And I'm gonna say that that's about 1-inch by 1-inch by 1-inch chunks. That's what you're gonna wanna throw in your bowl. Come back, and I'm gonna show you how to season them. All right, so we trim that chuck roast down. That's what it looks like now. Again, 1.5 inch, whatever you want. Remember, it's gonna lose about 30% of the size that you cut it. So if you cut it too small, you're gonna end up with these little bites. So cut it a little bit bigger because you are gonna lose some because of the fat in there. Now, seasoning. How do you wanna season it? Do you want it to be sweet? Sure, do a sweet rub. I want mine to be a little steakish because I'm gonna smoke these for 3 hours, then 2 more hours in a honey barbecue butter sauce. So this is just your standard Montreal steak seasoning. So all I do is hit it with this. Nick, you didn't put any olive oil in there or anything else in there. You don't have to. These are fatty enough chunks to where they're gonna start render out. They don't need to have any of that extra lubrication. And I'm just sliding the bowl everywhere. But Nick, I don't like that much spice on my stuff. Then don't put as much spice on there. I like heavy coating. I'm a condiment guy. I consider a spice a condiment. I want it to take on the flavor. That right there looks just about perfect to me. How easy is this? Watch this, Rob. I got the Yoder preheated at 250. I'm gonna knock it down to 225. Here's what I do. Watch this. Oh my God. I'll just make sure this makes it in the video. Every time I open it up, it's just like coming down from heaven. Look at how seasoned this grill is right now. Can we just take a little interlude about my Yoder? It's just a love story with my Yoder. Watch this. Top rack. Pull that rack out a little bit. It's starting to get hot. Pull the rack out. Dump the ends on there. Once you dump the ends, spread them out with your hands. That's how easy it is. Try to make sure, some of them touching, that's okay. Some of them not touching, they're gonna get more smoke. All you gotta do is get them on here. 3 hours later, we're gonna come back, we're gonna check them out. Poor man's burnt ends going down. We are cruising right along at 225 to 235. on the Yoder YS640S, and it's been an hour and a half. Okay, so the first part of this poor man's burnt ends is hour and a half. Mess them up, flip them over, another hour and a half of smoke. Let's take a look how they look. Oh yes, oh yes. So just take these tongs like this and just kind of mess them up. You don't have to go piece by piece, because remember, if you're looking, you ain't cooking. So don't look. Just get in here, mess them up. It doesn't matter. Now you might say, man, those are, you know, that fat hasn't rendered yet or whatever. It's only been an hour and a half. That's why we do another hour and a half, 225 to 230. And I also slid a couple little chicken breasts in there for the kids. Okay, another hour and a half, 3 total hours, 1-inch chunks, 225 to 230. Okay, 225 to 230. Here we go. Hold this under. You're on the top rack. Hold it under. Slide them out. Slide them out. We're about halfway through, more than halfway through, because this next part's probably going to be. We gotta gauge their tenderness, but I'm gonna say it's gonna be about another hour to an hour and a half. Boom. So there they all are. I mean, that looks good enough to eat right there. But here's what you do. Here's what you do. So first, I just take this barbecue sauce. That was just whatever barbecue sauce you like. You like Sweet Baby Ray's, throw it in there. You like a Chipotle cherry barbecue sauce, whatever barbecue sauce you like. Go ahead and throw that. That's 1 full can of barbecue sauce. And I bring this out here, just mess that up. Mess that around in there, just like that. Okay. Get them nice and coated. Okay, this is about 3/4 of a stick of butter. So just in little pads, they're gonna almost melt immediately. Okay. So we got 1 jar of barbecue sauce, 3/4 of a stick of butter. Now we're just gonna go with some of this honey. Just over the top. You don't have to kill it with the honey. Okay, just over the top. Now, secret ingredient. Product placement, Dos Equis. Let's do a deal. I love you. It's good enough to put in there, so watch this. Just for a little bit of liquid. Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost, Spiritus Sanctus. 1 for me, 1 for the homies. Just like that. Look at that little slurry it's making in the bottom. Now, cover this with foil. Cover this with foil. Set the timer for 1 hour and then come check the tenderness. We're going to do that now. Okay, 3 hours on the smoke, 225 to 230. Take them off. Honey, barbecue sauce, butter, whatever sauce you want, into this disposable pan. Look at even some goodness juices because I put it on the bottom versus the top. Coagulated at the top. Let's check this out. I haven't looked at it yet. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Look at the glistening. All right, look. Am I checking the temperature with this? No. I'm checking the tenderness with this. If it goes in just like that, they're done. See how easy that went through? That's how I know that they're done. If it gives me resistance, they're not done. You could leave them uncovered now, another 30 minutes, 20 minutes. Just check them. Let's check another one. Oh, look at how nice it goes through. Poor man burnt ends. Chuck roast at the beginning on the Yoder. This is going to be so hot, it's going to burn my face off. But we got to do it. We got to try it. We got to see. Oh, man. Could you just see how glisten that is? Get my ugly mug out of there. Oh, it's so great and it smells so good. Ready? Remember, Montreal steak seasoning was the binder seasoning. So right away, very peppery, nice salt, just a smack of that steak flavor. Then, background, barbecue sauce and honey and coated with the butter. If you have a pellet grill, a normal grill, hell, if you have an oven, you could do this. poor man's burnt ends from the chuck roast on the Yoder. You gotta do it. Until I see you next time, stay cooking, get in the backyard and smoke something.